An Algerian radio station has reported that the Algerian government has rejected France's request to utilize their airspace for a potential military operation in the Niger Republic. Despite recent denials from France regarding this request, the actuality remains veiled due to France's reluctance to acknowledge such appeals publicly. Requests of this nature are typically communicated through discreet channels, and when met with refusal, the requesting country generally refrains from making the details public. If they do, immediate denial often follows, preserving their reputation. Alternatively, this may serve as a diplomatic gesture from Algeria to convey their disapproval of France's military intervention in Niger. Since the coup in Niger, Algerian authorities have consistently expressed their stance against both the coup and any military involvement in the country. This strategic communication showcases the complexities of international relations. Whether France formally submitted a request or not, Algeria's message essentially communicates that they granted airspace access for a previous operation in Mali in 2013, but have since closed that avenue, signaling their unwillingness to provide similar access again. France's approach appears to parallel the tactics used in Côte d'Ivoire, intending to execute a similar strategy in Niger. However, in Niger, ECOWAS forces are envisaged to be the ground contingent while France offers aerial coverage. To facilitate combat helicopters and fighter jets, France aims to circumvent Nigerian airspace to avert potential backlash, given its role in ECOWAS and the military operation. Speculation has arisen regarding Tinubu's support for ECOWAS and France's involvement in Niger. France seemingly desires to project the operation as an ECOWAS initiative, masking its participation. Any visible intrusion through Nigerian airspace could lead to adverse reactions, potentially jeopardizing Nigeria's strategic interests and the fragile crude oil pipeline agreement with Niger. Given Niger's landlocked status and limited export options for crude oil, this operation's success becomes imperative for the nation's economic outlook. However, participation in an invasion introduces risks, as the invaded country could retaliate against involved nations. With Algerian airspace off limits, France may consider alternative routes. One scenario envisions fighter jets departing from France, traversing Morocco, and reaching Mauritania, where France already maintains a military base. A NATO presence in Mauritania could materialize. Mali, however, poses a hurdle, as it opposes granting airspace for an invasion of its neighbor, Niger. France faces logistical complexities due to the distances involved. Even with an aircraft carrier in the Gulf of Guinea, the substantial journey to Niger necessitates aerial refueling, posing considerable challenges. Considering these difficulties, a reconsideration of France's stance could be prudent. The unpredictability inherent in any invasion underscores the wisdom of allowing the Nigerians to determine their future. Calls for ECOWAS leaders to dissuade France from intervention underscore the disparity in perspectives. Algeria's refusal of France's request raises questions as to why other West African nations haven't adopted a similar stance. In conclusion, the situation exemplifies the intricacies of international diplomacy and military operations, shedding light on the varied motivations and potential repercussions for the nations involved. The people of Niger are not passive. They have been actively mobilizing their citizens against any potential invasion. Thus, the situation wouldn't unfold as smoothly as it did in Côte d'Ivoire. In the Ivorian case, when the rebels entered Abidjan, military personnel withdrew from their outlying posts to the central military base, making them susceptible to France's aerial assaults. The rebels had the freedom to navigate and locate Gbagbo with relative ease, given the layout of the area. However, replicating such a scenario in Niger might not be feasible. The complexities escalate due to Mali and Burkina Faso pledging to stand by Niger's defense. Additionally, the Wagner Group forces operating in Mali are likely to join the resistance. This creates a significant threat for ground forces, as retreating becomes an intricate endeavor, with neighboring countries locking down their borders. Chad to the east has already expressed its refusal to partake in or support any military intervention. Potential refugee options like Libya and Algeria are rendered inaccessible due to border closures. Mali and Burkina Faso are unviable escape routes, as they will be actively engaged against the invasion. The prospect of a conflict spilling over into Nigeria could have dire consequences, particularly for Nigerians residing in the northern regions. France's offer of air support appears straightforward, seemingly minimizing risk, especially considering the absence of air defense systems capable of intercepting high-altitude objects in the target country. Yet, the bulk of danger would be shouldered by ground forces. The ECOWAS leaders might lack a comprehensive understanding of these intricacies. The unfortunate reality is that soldiers could be thrust into a conflict not of their own making. More disheartening is that numerous West African countries grapple with severe security challenges, rendering them ill-equipped to address their issues while simultaneously attempting to restore democracy elsewhere. The irony lies in the desire to help others when one's circumstances remain dire. The ECOWAS leaders' willingness to commit to this intervention seemingly caters to France's desires, overlooking the fact that the incursion lacks widespread support within the ECOWAS region. Many within French-speaking nations are no longer content with enduring France's lingering influence on their political and economic landscapes long after gaining independence. This sentiment is notably absent from the perspective of ECOWAS leaders, who seemingly serve their interests. Algeria's historical struggle for independence against France provides them with a unique perspective, granting them the prudence to resist yielding any ground to French influence, unlike their Francophone counterparts. The people of Francophone countries increasingly desire to extricate France from their affairs, as evidenced by the Nigerian public's calls for the closure of French military bases and their departure from the country. The question arises, who were the ECOWAS leaders to impede this drive for emancipation from French dominance? In an ideal scenario, rational discourse should prevail, forestalling the impending invasion. ECOWAS leaders ought to persist in negotiations with the Nigerian military, aiming to swiftly implement a transition plan leading back to democracy. May reason triumph, averting the dire consequences of an unnecessary conflict. If you are watching our video for the first time, I suggest you subscribe to our channel for more interesting and captivating information. Turn on the bell notification to get alert on all our recent posts so you won't miss out any. Share your thought in the comment section and share these videos with family, friends, and concerned Nigerians. Thanks for watching.